sir.
Please.
Good evening, sir.
Good evening. Hi. Please take it. Jisu.
Jisu Krishna Das.
Okay. Jisu Krishna Das is Jesus is Christ?
No, I'm Hindu.
Okay, but Jisu is a
Christian, I'm
huh?
Actually, my grandfather has named me Jisu Krishna Das. He
Okay.
who believes that
Okay.
the different manifestation of God from different
wonderful,
religions
wonderful.
is a
Okay.
single soul.
Wonderful. So tell us something about yourself, Jisu Krishna.
Sir, I'm Jisu Krishna Das, native of Khoira, Baleswar. I have done my schooling from Fatehpur High School, Fatehpur, Baleswar. I have pursued my graduation from Bakshi Jagabandhu Vidyadhar College, Bhubaneswar, and also have pursued my post-graduation from Hindu College, Delhi University. And actually my hobby is writing postmodern poetries, and I am a caring, considerate poet as well as a sincere, responsible and dedicated student.
Good. What is this Tapasya Samsani Award?
Tapasya Sambhavana Puruskar.
Katha Navakrishna Award by some God. And writing postmodern poetry. Can you give a example, illustration? How you can poem?
About postmodernism, about postmodern poetry. Sir, actually, postmodern poetry is not a separated form of modern poetry, but it's an extended form of poetry which came after world wars. After seeing the dangerous or after seeing the menace of world wars, people started thinking about love, peace, and harmony, and of beauty, which could be sourced from nature, from mysteries, from the philosophies, from God's
Jisu, sorry to interrupt you. You have written any postmodern poem?
Yes, I have written.
Can you recite?
Sure, sir.
Will you?
Can I go to it in Odia? गोटे कविता मोर अच्छी सतमिछर पृथ्वी झरका बाहर विध्वस्त पृथ्वीर तैल चित्र अथच घर भितर सुंदर एक चढ़ईर बसा जे गली पड़ी अजणा एक दिन सीमांतर सेपारू आसुवा एक बारूदर शब्द जे जानी पारे चली जाइथिबा पुअर फोन केतेबेले आसीबो जे बुझी पारे आमे जे बारंबार सुंदर करी आंकुथुवा चित्रर वास्तवतार परिणाम केमिति हबो तथापि मो बारंबार मो घर भीतर को पळी आछि जो घरे झरका नाही केते भी देखिछो झरका बाहर थिबा पृथ्वी झरका बाहर थिबा लोकटी बंचिछि कि नाही केबे मरि जाइथिबा मढा देखिछो केबे मुंड पिंटी कांदिछो कहा छाती ऊपर केबे देखिछो जर हेतिबा पुअर छाती ऊपर ततला रक्त बधे ना कारण आमे समस्ते बंचु भिन्न एक पृथ्वी रे जो पृथ्वी रे केवल घर ठिया हुए पाराभाड़ी हे अंतत झरका न थाए कि बालकोनी न थाए जोठ आमे देखि परिबा सहरर नर्दमा धार कि फुलमाड़ार अंकुर तले मांस हाड़र कंकाल सत केवल मिछ केवल संसार मिछ केवल आमे सुंदर करे आंकी दउथवा सतर वास्तवतार पछतरे थिबा एक घुण्य मानसिकता.
Very good, Jisu. We get an idea. For want of time, we were really sorry to cut you short, but we got the point. Wonderful. So, what is the theme? What is this? What is the message? What is the message?
Message of my poem. Actually, sir, postmodernism is trying to convince the people about to get a world where we could not only feel them with imagination but with realities. Realities of work, realities of a hunger, realities of beauty of the humanities, and make the reader.
Very good, Jisu. No, we got a point. We would like to hear, but then for want of time, we are constrained to stop here. You were a student of Hindu College, political science. This 59%, it's just 1% short of first class.
Yes, sir. Actually, sir, it was during my pandemic time. I mean, the first semester took the complete year of pandemic, and since I was completely new to this Delhi University-based pattern and semesters and online basis even, I was preparing. I have done my class for the first year through the virtual medium only. And after that I got confused over what to read and from which source I could get all the resources the teachers are pointing. So I felt little disturbed just because of my family also got suffered from pandemic, and that impacted a negative
good
semesters.
That is, by the way, Jisu. So you are a scholar of international relations. Tell us about this Russian-Ukraine war and that it's dragging on for more than a year. So what are the lessons from the Russian-Ukraine war? What are the lessons to learn for a student of political
science? From geopolitical context, we are learning from the lesson is that extension of border or the imperialistic feeling or the excessiveness of power hungry actually degrades to the war by which you could only lose the human beings, by which you could only lose the infrastructure.
Good, Jisu. And on the same issue, the stand of India with regard to this war, because you are very clear,
yes, sir.
But we did not take a clear stand. When the majority of the world, the countries, they joined and then condemned, we were not even ready to condemn it.
Sir, actually, it's a complex moment between choosing the comprehensive strategic partnership and choosing the most privileged and trustable friendship. At the same time, we have to choose between the Western conceptualized war phenomenon and at the same time the Sino-Russian relationship axis. And between these two polar concepts, we are trying to balance with the US-led developmental policies again with the trusteeship or friendship-based Russian stance. By saying that we have been following our foreign policy in terms of non-alignment concept, by which neither could support nor we could stand over the.
Okay, one last question from my side before our learned colleagues take over. Okay, Krishna, we are impressed by your academic credentials, but then when you become an administrator, civil servant,
yes,
you're a very good poet, bhavanachi, lot of empathy and sympathy, a good scholar. But will you make a good civil servant? What are will these things become your strength or fault lines, weaknesses?
No, sir.
A poet, a man who always in the literary world, not down to earth.
Sir, actually, it's called civil servant. Civil servant. I'm trying to become a civil servant.
Yes.
Servant means to serve the people.
Yes.
If I'm not caring or considerable enough to feel the pain of others,
Yes.
to know what is going to happen in the house of a BPL man, what is going to happen in a village where there is scarcity of water, then how could I solve them? I feel that being an administrator as well as bearing the poetic soul in me, I could feel the pain, I could feel where the needy man is standing at the end or at the front, I could feel where my service is actually.
Okay, on the same aspect, just a thought and then I will have done with it. Do you think that the three form laws that were enacted and later repealed because of agitation, sustained agitation, do you think that the laws were good by themselves, but then people misunderstood, particularly the farmers of particular belt, they had a misconception, and therefore these good laws we had to repeal, even though they were good and they need of the hour. Because agriculture is one sector which is waiting to be reformed and liberalized.
Yes, sir.
When the government tried, but then unfortunately, because of certain misunderstandings and mishandling, probably because this is the opinion. What do you think? What is your own opinion?
Actually, sir, reforming agricultural basis or agricultural dominion actually needs often how we are confined in agriculture. We must have to start multi-cropping things. We must have to channelize the water or irrigation patterns. We must have to give them proper means of storing stores and mandi houses, which you call. And after that, we could say or assess whether agriculture is doing good or either it is influencing to our economy or not. So reforming doesn't mean to me personally, it doesn't mean working upon the papers or analyzing through the surveys only. We have to go to the very rural fields where actually agricultural bases are found. So by analyzing them, we could easily guess it out where to work and where not to work.
Okay, good, sir.
Do you know that what is Juhu conference is going on?
Juhu
What is
conference.
that?
Juhu conference.
There's a part of just guess.
Could I guess, sir?
Yes,
In case of Shanghai Cooperation Organization in India.
that is part of G20. So they are sitting over today, started today for 3 days, and they will look after this environmental issue of the whole world, or the G20 countries. You understand?
Okay, sir.
The thing is, one question I want to put you, all these things you are all right. That is, all these hours you got, that is, definitely you must have some merit. But will it be just in terms of words or in reality you have to fulfill it, transform it? ଖାଲି କଥାରେ କହୁଛ ନା ତା କାର୍ଯ୍ୟ ଲଗେଇବ?
No, sir. Actually, for me, I just have started living in this world. So, as per a poet's mindset, as per the words mentioned, so I believe that through seeing the things differently as a poet, I could easily make the world.
And why you are demarcating poet? As a scientist, also I have something to do. As a simple man, also something we have to do.
Because I believe myself as actually.
Then you tell
sensible
me
man.
one character by which will be your strength to become one good police officer. One character.
I have good analyzing concepts. I mean, I could reconnect the dots and I could analyze policies better.
The only thing is humanity, manavikata, abhi bhi zinda hai. Like that,
Yes,
jivit hai.
Yes, sir.
Gote jodi human value thibo, then everything can be possible. You can do
Yes, sir.
as per law.
Yes, sir.
You understand? So have it in your mind and go ahead. Third person.
Have you heard about Diu Gracia Island? What is the geopolitical importance of that island? It's in Indian Ocean, but not occupied by India.
Sorry, sir, I can't recall it now.
What is the geopolitical importance of Arunachal Pradesh? Why China is so much interested for that area?
Sir, actually, in terms of Chinese interest, China is trying to put its assertive nature by controlling Arunachal Pradesh in terms of its self-made historical analysis, and he is trying to capture, to perceive or to show the world a soft notion that the Chinese assertiveness or the Chinese in I should say and Arunachal Pradesh in terms of geographical context or in terms of political context is much important to connect even to the northeastern state and to the mainland of India. And
Okay, what is how Look East policy and Look Act policies are different?
so Look East policy was framed during the Atal Bihari Vajpayee's time, but Look Act policy is framed after the BJP government, which looks forward to the easternwards or East Eurasian continent, and to make a good people-to-people connection basis, and to attract the investments and to invest upon to make a good relationship with East Eurasian countries.
Now, have you heard about some days back, so I think 10 days or 15 days like that, one international sea route was jammed and very congested. What is that name?
International sea route. Sorry, sir. Actually, I can't recall.
Okay, why South China has drawn much attention? South China Sea.
South China Sea. Sir, South China Sea is part of Pacific region. In a broader term, is part of Indo-Pacific region, and where the 60% of global trade is occurring, and the importance of Atlantic nation has been shifted to Pacific Ocean, and due to the Asian power concept even. So even after the Chinese influence or the Chinese accession of power upon South China Sea by creating self-made or artificial island, so US-led Western concept believes that by acquiring the sea routes or the ocean routes of South China Sea or Indo-Pacific region may make them great power again by pursuing
What is the stand of the neighboring countries to South China Sea? What is their stand?
South China Sea. There has been actually there is an organization even called Quad, where Japan, Australia, India and US are members.
No, the neighboring countries they are opposing to
Chinese stance on South China Sea.
Yes. Why they are opposing?
Because after
China is saying that it's part of international water. Okay, but the neighboring countries are opposing. Why?
The neighboring countries are occupying just because of its past habits of acquiring other territories, like acquiring Taiwan, and they guess that after Chinese conquering or after Chinese domination over South China Sea, their trade means or trade routes would be influenced or get shattered.
According to distance, just tell me about various areas from sea coast towards the deep sea or inside the sea. Divide the various regions according to international importance.
According to UNCLOS, the first point is internal water, then the second point is territorial water, then the third point is special economic zone, exclusive economic zone, and the fourth point is international waters.
And in South China Sea, the neighboring countries complain that China is entering into their exclusive economic zone. That is the controversy.
Yes, sir.
If China is in future, if China will occupy Arctic Ocean, nobody will be going to complain.
Yes, sir.
Okay, so that is the infringement of exclusive economic zone. That is the issue.
Yes, sir.
Okay, now tell me, after some say geological changes
Yes, sir.
of seabed,
Yes.
a new island is coming up near Australia and New Zealand. What is the name of that? And some people are telling that in future that will be another new country.
Sorry, sir, can't recall the name right now.
Okay, now you see, Indian economy is changing very fast. Okay,
Yes, sir.
the lifestyle is also changing. The food habit is also changing.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Occupation habit is also changing.
Yes, sir.
In relation to this, what is gig economy?
Yes, sir. Gig economy is a form of informal or unorganized job or pattern of working by which through the mediator, a mediator like the Ford giving Swiggy board or the Zomato boards like people, they have been working from the giver or the selling center to the service. So there is no formalization or registration of worker habits. So gig economy is on that basis.
It's all about temporary
It's all
job
about
and
temporary
contractual job or freelance job.
Freelancers.
Is it like that?
Is it?
Okay, thank you, sir.
Good, Jisu, you have done well, and this is the first time you are appearing?
It's completely from very first time.
Very good, very good.
So a little bit nervous, forgot all those things.
Doesn't matter, it happens the first time. So what is your own assessment of your performance? How much you
Today.
did?
Today, actually sir, I must have to cover well the geopolitical current affairs scenarios very well, and I also have to work upon my optional fields.
Because that is your optional.
Yes sir, optional and my honors as well.
ठीक है केबे आपनकर मेंटरीटा
19th July.
19th doesn't matter, see this is your core area, can these are the latest thing. The point being you have to be up to date.
I didn't get much time to cover because
Doesn't-
I registered last year, I mean yesterday and
Even
they appointed.
Purbaru, 2 days before, you see the Google WhatsApp, everything will get.
Yes sir.
So it's okay, isn't it?
Yes, sir.
The questions from the board, mock board, it will give an idea what will be the expectations. Because you are a Delhi Hindu college student, so expectations will be more. So they are taking you to up to date. In other words,
Yes, sir.
you are expected to be up to date in your core area. That's all. So you can read it up. Otherwise, I think it is you are very passionate, committed to the service of the people, the marginal Gandhian philosophy,
Yes.
the last man, Gandhi's talisman. Fine. Anything else you would like to know from us, Jisu?
Sir, actually, I'm guessing that I would be given questions from poetry fields. And by relating how literature influences the
Not
political
necessarily,
evolution.
not
Not necessarily.
କିଛି ବି ହୋମ୍ ଡିଷ୍ଟ୍ରିକ୍ଟ କ'ଣ ଅଛି
Baleswar.
ଡିଷ୍ଟ୍ରିକ୍ଟରୁ କ୍ୱେଶ୍ଚିନ୍ ଆସିବ ରିସେଣ୍ଟଲି କିଛି ହେଇଛି
ମୋର ବାହାନେ ଆକ୍ସିଡେଣ୍ଟ ହେଲା
Bahana
କବଚ ନାହିଁ ଆମ ନାହିଁ ଗୋଟେ ପଚାରିବି
or
ଫ୍ରିଡମ୍ ଫାଇଟର ତାପରେ ଇନୋଭେଟିଭ୍ ଜିନିଷ କ'ଣ ଅଛି ସେଠି ଟ୍ରାଡିସନାଲ ଜିନିଷ ଯୋଉଟା ପଚାରିବି
ଟୁରିଷ୍ଟ ପ୍ଲେସେସ୍ ଇମ୍ପୋର୍ଟାଣ୍ଟ ପ୍ଲେସେସ୍
ନୀଳଗିରି ଯୋଉ ପଚାରିବି ଟୁରିଷ୍ଟ ସ୍ପେଟ୍ ପଲିଟିକାଲ ଲିଡର
yes sir.
ତାପରେ ତୁମର ପଦ୍ମଶ୍ରୀ ଆୱାର୍ଡି
Yes sir.
ଲାଇକ୍ ଦ୍ୟାଟ୍
Anything, it can be anything under the sun. Constitution, current affairs.
କୁଆଡ଼େ ଯେ ଡାଇଭର୍ଟିକ୍ ଚାଲିବ ସେମିତି କହିବୁ ନା ପୋଏଟ୍ରି ପଚାରିଲେ ସେମିତି କିଛି ମାନେ
Yes,
ନାହିଁ
sir.
ଡିପେଣ୍ଡସ୍ କି ଷ୍ଟାର୍ଟିଂ କ'ଣ ହେଉଛି ପୁଣି କେମିତି
Poetry they can
ସବୁଟା ଟିକେ ଟିକେ କିଛି ଦେଖିପାରିବେ
Okay.
G20 ଚାଲିଛି G20 ରିଲେଟେଡ୍
ତ ପଚାରିବି
ଇଣ୍ଟରନ୍ୟାସନାଲ ରିଲେସନ୍
Good, Jisu, you will do well. Only thing is, don't be too much carried because a good poet need not be a good administrator. I mean, this is not poetry is good, poet is good, and poetry by itself, it may provide you the emotion and then your commitment, but by itself, it need not be.
Need not. Okay sir. I will limit it as a hobby only. I must be cautious
No,
about
not limit, but hobby is one side and
reality is another
work
side.
is
It has a positive point in the sense, yes, you feel for the people, the deprived and have-nots. You are feeling for the have-nots. That is a good thing. Okay, all the best, Jisu,
Thanks.
Krishna. You will do well. Be confident. Some questions you will not be able to answer. No candidate will be able to answer. That is a given.
Yes sir.
A little more control over your emotion. You are more.
so I think it is finished, is okay.
Quota?
What is your this is off the record. What is the meaning of that poem?
ସତମିଛ ପୃଥିବୀ।
କ'ଣ ସେଟା କହିଲ? କ'ଣ ଘରର ଝରକା ନାହିଁ?
Sir, actually, nahi. गोटे झरका को मु रखुची गोटे
ମୁଁ
medium
ଯାଉଛି
ରଖିକି।
insensitive towards
ହଁ,
others
ହଁ।
world.
ନାଇଁ ମୁଁ ଜାଣିଛି ମେସେଜ କହିଛି କି ମାନେ କ'ଣ ସେଟା ଏକ୍ଜାକ୍ଟଲି
ମୁଁ କହୁଛି ଝରକାଟା ଅଛି ମୁଁ ଝରକା ବାହାରକୁ ଦେଖିଲା ବେଳକୁ
ନାଇଁ ନାଇଁ ସେ ଯୋଉ ଚଢେଇଟା ବସା
ହଁ,
କରିଛି
ହଁ,
ପଡିଗଲା
ଆଚ୍ଛା, ସାର୍, ହଁ।
କେମିତି ଘର ଭିତରେ କୋଉ ଚଢେଇ
ନାଇଁ ସାର୍ ସେଟା ଗୋଟେ ପଏଟିକ୍ ଇମାଜିନେସନ
poetic
ମୁଁ କହୁଛି ଦୁନିଆର ବାହାରେ ଚାଲିଛି ଯୁଦ୍ଧ ମୋ ଘର ଭିତରେ ଗୋଟେ ମୁଁ ରଖିଛି ଚଢେଇ ଛୁଆ
ଚଢେଇ
ଚଢେଇ ଛୁଆଟା ଗଳି ପଡିଛି
ବାର୍ଡସ୍ ସ୍ମଲ୍ ବାର୍ଡସ୍
ସ୍ମଲ୍ ବାର୍ଡସ୍
ବାୟା ଚଢେଇ
Okay.
ଲାଇକ୍ ଘର ଚଟିଆ
ତ ବୁଝିଲି ବୁଝିଲି
ସେ ଗଳି ପଡିଛି କାହିଁ ଗଳି ପଡିଛି ନା ବାହାରେ ଯୁଦ୍ଧର ବାରୁଦ ଶବ୍ଦରେ ବା ଫାୟାରିଂ ସାଉଣ୍ଡରେ ଆଉ ମୁଁ ସେଇଠୁ ମନେ ପକାଉଛି ଯେ ଯୋଉ ପୁଅଟା ମୋତେ କହିଥିଲା ଫୋନ୍ କରିବ ବୋଲି ମୋ ପୁଅ ଯେ ଫୋନ୍ କରିବି କାଲି ତାର ଫୋନ୍ ଆଉ ଆସିନି ଡେଥ୍ ଅଫ୍ ମାଇ ସନ୍ ତ ତାପରେ ମୁଁ ଧୀରେ ଧୀରେ late କରୁଛି।
ଚଢେଇଟା ବି ମେ ବି ସ୍ମଲ୍ ବେବି ଯଦି ବାହାର ଯୁଦ୍ଧ ଚାଲିବ
ତାପରେ ସେଇ ସତ ମିଛର କନସେପ୍ଟକୁ ନେଇକି ଡିଫାଇନ୍ ହେଉଛି ସତରେ କ'ଣ ଚାଲିଛି ଆମେ ଇମାଜିନେସନରେ କମିତି ପହଞ୍ଚୁଛନ୍ତି ଯେ ଆମେ ଗୋଟେ ସୁନ୍ଦର ସ୍ୱପ୍ନର ଅଭିଳାଷ ରଖୁଛନ୍ତି ଅନ୍ତତଃ ଆମେ ସପୋର୍ଟ କରୁଛନ୍ତି ଗୋଟେ ୱାର୍କୁ ମାନେ ଏଇଟା ୱାନ୍ ଅଫ୍ ମେନି ପଏମ୍ସ ଅଫ୍ ମାଇଣ୍ଡ ତ ଏଇ ପଏମ୍ଟା ସଡନଲି ଆସିଗଲା ଆଇ ୱାଜ୍ ନଟ୍ ପ୍ରିପେୟାର୍ଡ ଏଟ୍ ଦ୍ୟାଟ୍
Good. No, no,
ଟାଇମ୍
just
So you have written it.
He has
I have
written.
written.
ଗୋଟେ ରେଡି କରିଥିବ
ହଁ।
ପଚାରି ପାରନ୍ତି
No, it is a good point you say because the empathy of a civil servant is a very rare quality and it's a value addition.
Yes.
See, that means it's not a sympathy.
Yes.
It is an empathy.
Empathy.
So when you become a civil servant, your empathy will be a very great asset. From empathy will flow the action. So that is a good point. We are not saying that.
Yes.
But because too much of emotion also, but it has to be controlled emotion.
Yes.
Okay. All the best, Jisu. Wonderful. We expect to see you in the. Any more question?
No, sir. Thank you.
Sorry. That's all.
No, sir. All
All the best.
Thanks, sir.